Hey friends, great job. Okay, if you've come to this point, great job. This is a great start. This journey continues for on and on and on and on. But what I wanted to do here with you right now is share 4 tips that can help you in your journey. And these tips are more like a social entrepreneurial tips, but I want to share with you so that you can learn and you can see if there's a place for you to incorporate them into your changemaker project. Are you ready? So I'm going to share my screen right now and we're gonna go. All right, 4 social entrepreneurial tips for your change-making project. The first one, don't focus on people who don't get it, okay? This is really important. Many times we're focusing on people who don't understand what we want to do. And this is actually a waste a lot of time. And let me show you an example. So here's how change works, okay? Usually the change is like this. The ideas come from 2.5% of people. These are the innovators. These are the change makers out there. They have an idea. You might be one of them, that you have an idea and you want to bring something to the world, right? So what happens is this is only 2.5% of the population. And these people they refer them as crazy or ideating, creative, whatever. This is where they are. Now, for an idea to become mainstream, the first thing that happens is this is the first group that starts to understand what is this. These are the early adopters. These are people that when you have an idea and you're throwing this idea out there, they come to you and say, hey, great idea, I want to be part of it. These are the early adopters, okay? The third version of this is the early majority. These are the people, once the early adopters are getting into the idea, then these people are following the trend and saying like, you know what, I want to do what is right and I want to do these things. So they followed the early adopters. And then in the end, this is the late majority. These are the people that don't want to miss out, okay? So don't want to miss out. When they see that more than half of the people are doing something, they will do it too, you know? And the last group, 16%, these are the laggards, okay? These are the people that will push back, okay? These are the people that don't like change. These are the people that, you know, purposefully make fun of recycling, you know, or climate change and all these things. These people are always denying. Now, instead of you focusing on how to change the minds of the people who are committed not to change their minds here, you're going to actually focus on the people who are ready to accept your message. That's the people you need to mobilize and focus on. This is really important, okay? So don't focus on the people who don't get it. Focus on the people, the early adopters. The theory of diffusion of innovation says that once you focus on the early adopters, you make it easy for them to be part of your idea, of your movement, then there's a tipping point here. This is when these people then start influencing other people and these people and other people and so on, okay? So focus on them rather than this. This is the first tip, all right? Good, 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 all right. Second tip, don't be anti anything, be for something. This is really important, guys. This is really important. You see, if you point a finger at someone and say like, you suck, you're really bad, they're gonna say, no, you suck, you're really bad, and it's not gonna work. We get to see, for example, people are like anti-bullying campaigns. Okay, those are good, but if you're anti-bullying, you're just saying, hey, you're teaching bullies how not to bully. You're just giving them new ways to bully. Say, hey, don't do this. They will find another way and bully. So to explain what this means is I have a picture of Mother Teresa, okay? She was invited into a protest, and the protest was an anti-war protest, okay? Anti-war. And she said, oh, I'm not anti-war, don't call me. And the reporters were like, wait, but you're Mother Teresa, like, of course you're anti-war. She said, no, I'm not anti-war. She said, I am pro-peace. And if you have a protest for peace, then I will happily join. You see the difference? Because if you are for something, you're promoting a solution. If you're against something, you're just saying like, that is bad, okay? And sometimes, okay, you can say that, but if you say that is bad, okay, show me better. What is better? So don't be anti something. Don't be like, people should not waste food, okay? People should be conscious of their behavior, okay? You stand for that, not for the other one. That's a result, okay? So that's a difference. So focus, don't be anti anything, be for something. Good? Second tip, perfect. Third tip is build a team, okay? It is simple. I put this team right here. A team is very, very important. You want to have a group of people supporting you and nurturing you, challenging you, doing all these things that are there for the team. And actually with a team, there's a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, then go together. So that is why it is important to have a team. You get more ideas, more stuff, and it's also new perspective and so on. But how do you form a team? So to form a team, it is important that you create an event or something and see who comes. And from there, see who is interested. You can cast a wide net. When you're catching fish, it is harder for you to catch just one fish with a spoon, with whatever that thing is, with a fork. One fish is very hard to catch. But if you throw a net and then see what fish comes in, then you get a lot of fish. That's the analogy, okay? But you want to, let's say, create an event like, hey, I am creating a composting, learn about composting presentation on my door. Who wants to join? Invite all the people that you can, see who comes. And from those who come, see that if anybody is interested to actually do something about it. Okay, form a team, really important. The next one is appreciate the first follower. Okay, so I'm gonna play a TED Talk right now. It's 5-minute TED Talk. It's really fun. But you see, like when we are creating change, the change is not about you. The change is about the change, the problem. So when people come to follow you, you gotta really appreciate that. So let me show you this video and then we'll get back to that.
So ladies and gentlemen, at TED, we talk a lot about leadership and how to make a movement. So let's watch a movement happen, start to finish, in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons from it. First, of course, you know, a leader needs the guts to stand out and be ridiculed. But what he's doing is so easy to follow. So here's his first follower with a crucial role. He's going to show everyone else how to follow. Now notice that the leader embraces him as an equal. So now it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Now there he is calling to his friends. Now if you notice that the first follower is actually an underestimated form of leadership in itself. It takes guts to stand out like that. The first follower is what transforms a lone nut into a leader. And here comes a second follower. Now it's not a lone nut, it's not two nuts, 3 is a crowd, and the crowd is news. So a movement must be public. It's important to show not just the leader, but the followers, because you find that new followers emulate the followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, and immediately after, 3 more people. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point. Now we've got a movement. So notice that as more people join in, it's less risky. So those that were sitting on the fence before now have no reason not to. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, but they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. So over the next minute, you'll see all of the those that prefer to stick with the crowd, because eventually they would be ridiculed for not joining in. And that's how you make a movement. But let's recap some lessons from this. So first, if you are the type, like the shirtless dancing guy, that is standing alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals. So it's clearly about the movement, not you. Okay, but we might have missed the real lesson here. The biggest lesson, if you noticed, did you catch it? Is that leadership is over-glorified. That yes, it was the shirtless guy was first, and he'll get all the credit, but it was really the first follower that transformed the lone nut into a leader. So as we're told that we should all be leaders, that would be really ineffective. If you really care about starting a movement, have the courage to follow and show others how to follow. And when you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first one to stand up and join in. And what a perfect place to do that, TED. Thanks.
Did you catch that? Look at the dance he does. Yay. Interesting, huh?
In 25 years.
Next one. So before we go to this one, right? So appreciate the first follower. You see what that means? When you have an idea and you're sharing with people and somebody comes to you, that's really important. You really have to support that person and treat them as an equal. Don't say like, do this for me, do that for me, but what can we do together? Okay, so this is where this appreciating the first follower is that's super important. Or you can be the first follower. You know, like if you see somebody doing really good things, a tremendous type of leadership is for you to stand up and say, hey, I want to support what you're doing because this is there. That's totally a change maker thing to do. All right. So that's a little bit with this. And the last one, and this is a little bit more complex. And I think this is for some of you who are more interested, who are stepping into this for your life. Okay. Like you really want to dedicate your life for this. Here's something, you know, you can start with direct impact, but go for system change. What the heck does that mean? So Bill Drayton, I've mentioned him a couple of times. When I was a student at Arizona State University, I got to meet Bill Drayton. And there he told me, he said, social entrepreneurs are not content just to give a fish or to teach how to fish. They will not rest until they revolutionize the fishing industry. You see, what this means is actually really profound, is that there's many different levels of impact that you can have, okay? Here are the levels, and I've broken them like this for you. The first level is direct impact. This is when you are directly going to create some change, right? This is what we're doing right now. This is us by ourselves going, mobilizing maybe some people and creating some change. This is how all change starts. It's with the first small steps, okay? This is direct impact. An example of this could be like, hey, there is trash on the fields. So what you do is you go and you get your family and friends and go and collect the trash, okay? So this is direct impact. The second is scaled direct impact. This is where, you know, you go and collect trash once and twice and 3 times, and then you say, you know what? We need to have more people do this. So you go in every city, you create a center where people are going to volunteer and collect trash. So in a city, you have one person leading the volunteering, in another city, and then you're training the trainers how to do this. and you're scaling just like a business, you know, where you have more chapters, more groups, more places, and that way you're collecting more and more trash. But what you will realize is that it's not sustainable to do that. You see, if you're just collecting trash and collecting trash and collecting trash, people are throwing trash and throwing trash and throwing trash. Are you addressing the real problem? So this is where you go to system change. And system change, this is where you are creating, let's say, for the problem of trash, you create a law and you say, you know what? Every 15 meters in every city, there needs to be a trash can where you can throw the trash, okay? Or there are penalties for people to throw when they throw trash outside in the field or something, right? So this is when you change the system. And this is really important, okay? When you change the system, then there's laws being made, the system has changed and all these things. However, even though there's trash cans right here, there are people who just throw it outside, they don't care. And this is the biggest change that we need to make, and this is the framework change, okay? Framework means, you know, the frame like this of a picture or something? We have also a frame that we look at the world through. So to change how people look at something, that's a framework change, okay? So for the moment of like throwing trash, how can we have people understand that actually throwing trash is bad for you as well? You know, how can we change the mindset of people? And that's the framework change type of thing. So my friend, you start here. This is important. Start here, but aim for mindset change in the end, you know, where there's a collective mindset change in society. So were these helpful? I hope this was helpful. I know there's a lot of information here, but I wanted to create all different videos to dive more into this. But I think if you have more questions, let me know. I'm happy to dive more deeper in each one of these. But this is it for right now. These were the 4 tips that you need to remember in your social entrepreneurship or change-making journey. All right. So thank you so much. Good job for being here this far, and we'll see you in the next one.